Ndemic Creations has come out with a title that was familiar to me as soon as I saw it, and now it's a board game. So let me tell you a little bit about this. Plague Incorporated, the board game. So this is good for 1 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, and should take you about 60 minutes or so to play. Plague Incorporated, the board game, is a strategic game of infection, evolution, and extinction. For 1 to 5 players, it's based on the smash hit digital game with over 85 million players. Can you infect the world? Each player is a deadly disease, and they must battle against each other to spread their own plague, develop new symptoms, and ultimately wipe out humanity. Starting with Patient Zero, you spread your infection across the world by placing tokens in cities, earning DNA points and preventing other players from becoming dominant. Players choose which countries are placed on the board, but you must be both climate resistant and connected to a country before you can infect it. Eventually, as countries become fully infected, you try to kill them using the death dice. Each player's unique pathogen can be upgraded by evolving trait cards onto an evolution slide with DNA points. At the start, your disease is weak and unspecialized, so you will need to add symptoms to make it stronger. Choose carefully and plan ahead in order to react to the changing world and exploit opportunities created by other players' actions. A simple nosebleed could accelerate things early on, whilst diarrhea will help you thrive in hot countries. Sneezing can infect new countries by air, but total organ failure will allow you to wipe out multiple countries each turn. As countries start to fall, use powerful event cards to alter the balance of power. You might try to eradicate a dominant player by bombing their diseased cities, or hold the Olympics to cause huge numbers of infected people to travel to a healthy continent. When the world collapses, who will be the ultimate plague? Ooh, that does tell you a lot about the game. Now, I realize right off the bat that this may be considered in bad taste by some, but I disagree, which is why this is here. This game catches my attention for one reason above all others, and there are several, but above all others, this is anti-pandemic. This is the exact opposite of that game, Pandemic, where you are the humans racing to stop the diseases, and now, here, you are the diseases, and the humans are just the NPCs, so to speak, of this game. I'm really digging this turn of events. So I've been seeing a lot about this game that says that this game has something that a lot of games look for, and that is low player downtime. That there's not going to be a lot of time when you're doing nothing from the time you end your turn to the time you begin your next turn. Things are going to happen very fast in this game, but also everything the other players are doing is going to, or at least potentially going to, affect you and what you're going to be doing on your next turn. They may be doing things that you can actively play cards for or against. So you do have very little downtime. And like I said, that's something every game really tries to, or should try to manage, is player downtime. And this seems to do it. So now I've played the app a bunch of times, and I really do enjoy the app, and I'm curious to know if some of the app techniques and strategies will work on the board game. But what I didn't expect was to hear about these event cards in this version of the game. And the reason I say that is because I didn't really think about it. Because in the app, while things are going on, where you're infecting the world, and things are getting worse and worse and worse, there's a news ticker that goes across the screen that tells you a little bit of things and that's going on in the world, how things are getting crazy, right? And this tries its hand at it with this event card deck, where you're going to have things like, there's a soap shortage, So you get to add a few more infection cubes to the country that you're infecting because they got nothing to sanitize themselves with. And this does a great job, from what it sounds like, of taking the idea of the news ticker on the app and putting it into the game mechanics. I like that. Now, there is an expansion, so you can play 5 players in it. Anytime you get more players at a table, it will slow things down, though, which is why most games don't start off with a 5-player mode. But this also does have a solo mode, and that's great for nowadays. We need more solo options in games these days, I believe. And this has it in the Lone Bacteria solo mode style of the game. And I'm imagining that is going to feel most like the app. But check out the app, too. If you want more information on this board game, check out information on the app also, because it seems that this is a very good translation of the phone app that you can download. So those are the reasons why Plague Inc., the board game, is on my radar, and I'm really revved up to get this game and try it. So go find out more information on Ndemic Creations' title of Plague Incorporated, the board game.